On the cover, Carla Bryce stands over a monitor, overlooking a giant glass window, looking out onto the Earth from space. Behind her, the man who referred to himself as Jeremiah stands, watching a monitor, red suit, black tie blazing. In a chair behind him sits Lutra, attached with all sorts of cables and wires coming out of him. In the very back of the satellite, the heads of Anton and Kestrel are poking out, watching, waiting for the correct time to strike. In the bottom corner of the comet, there is a glossy sticker of two worlds running into each other, signifying this is the start of the Worlds Collide event. And welcome, everybody. As you can see, most of us are here. Some of us have icons. Some of us are, really getting really weird because I'm not sure how you can wear yourself on a t-shirt, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to all point, stare, and judge, so let's all do that now. Anyway, what's happening, everybody? As you heard from our cold open there, we are beginning to getting to our first really big event here. I didn't want to do an event with the whole Kismet arc because it didn't really feel like it merited a cross-comics event type of thing. What's happening here definitely does. We'll get more into that later on. But we will be being joined a little bit later by Norestra. As you can see, we just have the winking Anton symbol at us. But we do have most of the rest of our regular crew. We have, with the guitar in the background, we've got Crimson Avix over there. With way too many otters on the screen, we've got OPT. And Cham just has this generic background behind him, which, good for you, good for you. Way to stand out. I am your host, I am TGE, and it's been a couple weeks. It has been a couple weeks since we've been here. We were supposed to do this a couple weeks ago, but a couple of us, mainly the two people who kind of do the running of this, were at a baseball game.
Baseball ruins another thing.
And then last week there was some coin thievery. A skunk was kidnapped. A demon learned you don't wake people up in the middle of the night. And we all learned what Travis looks like in spandex.
Which was hilarious.
That also seems to happen when Travis is drugged up on melatonin.
Oh, dear.
Yes. But anyway, that happened. We may see some of them tonight. Who knows? This is the Worlds Collide event, after all. But, as it is, where we left off last time, Jay basically told everybody, hey, there's a bunch of crap happening. Carla's really, from a different world, trying to kill Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. Hunter's not really her biological son, he's a plant. There's a lot of information to cover. Best thing to do is when you're done watching this live, go over to YouTube. Link will be in the chat here in a second. And watch that. Watch that episode because... yeah, you definitely need to. A lot of information, a lot of crazy, crazy things happen there.
Guess it would help if I actually had the chat open.
So we can answer Nora's question.
I have no idea why OPT is in the middle. We're just going to leave it like that. So anyway.
Layouts.
So the end of last week sort of happened with... oh, wow. With that, everybody, you can't on YouTube, you can't see the chat. But basically, Krim just told Nora to, quote, go to the kitchen and make your wife a sandwich. So, yes. The only thing we hope is that he doesn't put ketchup on it.
Who would do that?
A monster, that's who.
Exactly.
An animal.
Literally.
So anyway, we ended sort of last week's episode with a two-part thing happening, whereas most of the party was finally treated to the song that sort of drove Lutra crazy, where Dr. Casey and Anton were having a little private discussion. So we're basically going to pick up right where we left off. I'm assuming people have, after the saga, have wandered off to bed. There are plenty of places in Stormbreaker Tech to stay if people don't want to go to wherever they're supposed to be staying. And we're going to start the scene there. What's going on?
So Lutra, like, as much as he went into his room at the end of the last episode, he comes out at one point and he's helping with the cleanup because, you know, he's doing a lot to keep himself moving and busy. But he's helping with washing the massive amounts of dishes that they used. You know, cleaning up whatever leftovers he can find to put away in a nice little place and whatnot. He does this for quite some time before he goes back into his room, but only for about 20 minutes or so. When he comes out, and he makes his way, and he doesn't do this really like sneakily or anything like that, but kind of nonchalantly makes his way out of the barracks and up towards the roof.
As a heads up on that, Kester would actually be hanging around probably a little bit in the tower at that point too, because he's actually kind of in a very thoughtful after he's heard like Lutra's song, so he's kind of taking his time. And he can probably notice Lutra going upstairs. I imagine you said you're not being very sneaky about it.
No, yeah, he's not like sneaking out. He's just going upstairs to the roof.
So he might follow Lutra up there for.
Well, does he? I mean, might is.
Yes,
okay.
he does.
Good. All right. So when you get outside, it's nighttime. I would assume by now, right, Tej?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, are there lights on this roof? I've never actually known.
Do you want there to be lights on the roof?
Sure, it would make sense.
There would have to be lights on the roof.
Right.
We landed a plane on it.
That's a good
That's
point,
true.
yeah. So,
But it's a stealth.
right, so in the lighting of the roof upside, you see Lutra is standing, like, I don't want to say near the edge of the ledge or anything like that, but, you know, he's just kind of leaning over a barricade, you know, just kind of looking out over Bay City, looking very thoughtful, but at the same time looking a little melancholy?
That's a word.
I know it's a word. I'm trying to think if it's the right one. Makes about enough sense, yeah. He clearly doesn't notice you, by the way.
Kester's kind of poking his nose out of like the door and kind of looking at Lutra for a bit. He's gonna hover out there for a bit. You doing okay after all that, Lutra?
Shush! Sorry, I didn't hear you come up here. Yeah, no, I'm... You know, no, I'm not really okay. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I am, but I'm not. It's weird. I'm not even sure, honestly speaking. I feel something inside of me. It feels just wrong.
Like, what do you mean wrong?
Well, I mean, like, everything feels so slow. Like, really, really, really slow. I also feel like I don't want to keep moving. It's the same problem I ran into before. I feel like I don't want to stop moving, and I know what happens when I do that, and I'm kind of nervous.
Well, the slow thing is probably because you just got off of that blitz stuff, so it might take a little bit of time for you to get back to that. Like, to get back to normal on that, but I mean, you finished the song, right? So now you can start working maybe another project or something.
Yeah, that was... Gosh, that went very well, too.
It did. It was really beautiful.
Oh, thanks. She looks upwards towards the sky. Like, you know, I was thinking about how much we felt like a family. You know, Phantasm, Anton, even Melchior and Dr. Casey and Hunter even before he was at the computer. You know, we were all a family, really. It's the only family I've ever known. But after that J guy was telling us about that Doctor Strange, I started thinking, you know, maybe it is possible for me to know where I'm from.
You mean like where you came from, like your planet?
Yeah. Not that I want to go back, because I don't know it. this is my home. Bay City is my home, and I think that's something I realized while I was detoxing. That Bay City really is my home. But that doesn't mean I don't want to know where I come from. He looks at you and he turns around and looks at you and says, "Is that wrong?"
It's not wrong. But I guess it's kind of the big question is, what will you do when you find out?
I don't know. I don't even know if I can find out. I mean, there's not going to be any place that has... Wait. Do I? Could I?
What?
Well, there is one place I might be able to find something.
Something about your home planet?
Maybe? Or
Where would that be?
Or maybe just about me. You know, maybe there is something left over there. Yeah.
Over where?
Lucha looks up at you and says the word Utopolis.
Utopolis. That was the word we heard recently. That's the place that Malkier went to, right?
Yeah, hey, we're just there. So it's gotta be still safe to go. Lucha looks at you. He looks over at the jet. He looks back at you. Kind of smiles, says...
I bet I can go faster.
Kind of says... You want to go for a ride?
You know what? Sure. I'm interested to see how fast that bird...
I mean, it's not going to go faster than you, but the coordinates are already inside here, so it's easier. So Lucha actually goes ahead and boards the jet, and as he does so, he alerts the AI. He's like, "Hey, plane, AI, how you doing?"
You don't get a response.
No.
Does this one not talk?
I used to. Oh. He goes to the...
So is the computer gonna fly the plane for us?
Oh, I hope so. Lucha goes into the cockpit, sits down, and starts trying to turn on anything. I also have to let Dr. Casey know I want to go.
Oh yeah, this is probably his jet, isn't
Well, it is, but he kind of lets us use it, but...
You look around and you notice that the computer... Although you're clicking all the buttons and nothing's happening.
Push the red one.
Oh, the red button! No, the Phantasm told me I have to push that one. He looks at it, but doesn't push it. That's unfortunate.
Well, should we get somebody to help us?
Yeah, I was trying to learn how to do this.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Both of us, or just Lutra?
Probably not.
Both of you can do it.
Oh, joy. This is not a character. There it is. Squirrel eyes, what spell?
Nothing, because you rolled a 1. However, Lucha will do it. The key's missing.
Oh. Right. Hold here for a second. Lucha jumps out of the cockpit and runs back inside.
Meanwhile, Kestro checks out the digs in the jet. Guys zipping around and seeing it's like, ooh, what do we have over here? Like, is there like a fridge with snacks in it?
There is a fridge. There is a little kitchen. Inside that you have your typical snacks in the fridge, but there is one drawer one cabinet completely full of Swedish fish.
Huh. Must be Lutra's. Oh well.
So Lucha goes...
What's Lucha doing when he goes back inside?
Oh, he's going to go try to find Dr. Casey real quick. Unless he knows where the key's at, which I don't think he does.
Give me an insight check. Who was the last person to drive the jet?
Hunter. Lucha's going to go...
I was going to suggest you fly it.
Yeah, Lucha's going to go find Hunter.
Not that hard. He's using the big TV in the office in the barracks area to play Mortal Kombat.
Right. Lucha head pads over and says, hey, Hunter.
You want to play? Finish him!
You know, maybe later, but...
And then you see the uppercut off. It's the acid stage. It's the uppercut into the acid.
Yeah. You know, this game I was never really all that good at. Hey, look. Real quick. I'm not trying to push you away, but I need to ask you a question. And not that kind of question. Where's the key to the jet?
Oh, he pokes around. Hold on. He puts that down. Runs off. He's gone for like 5 minutes. Comes back down. Forgot to take it out of my pocket for doing laundry.
Oh,
it was at the bottom. It was at the bottom of the hamper.
Oh, well, there you go.
He throws you the jet key.
Oh, thanks. Hey,
That would have been bad. That would have been really bad if that went in the wash machine.
Well, yeah,
that would have killed me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let him know I'm gonna go take it out because I need to go. There's something I gotta go do.
He sort of gives you a look. He doesn't have to say what the look means. You know what the look means.
No. It's not like that. This is a little self-discovery.
Don't they have mirrors for that?
I wish. No, I'm going back to Utopolis, actually.
You what?
I gotta see if there's anything there about me. And honestly, Hunter, I think I need to face it one more time. And I can't get to sleep right now, so...
Yes. You're gonna come back, right?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm not coming back with that stuff. Plus, Ketchell's coming with me, so he's gonna make sure I don't do anything wrong.
Oh, good.
Did you want to come?
Probably shouldn't. And it's the jet. You know I don't do that.
Yeah, but I felt wrong if I didn't at least ask.
Yeah, but no. I don't like that. I don't like that thing.
Richard nods and he walks over and gives Hunter a very quick hug. And he says, as he does so, he says, "Thank you again for everything."
Can I go back to video games now?
Absolutely. And when I come back, we're playing Street Fighter 2.
Okay, as long as you promise not to button mash with Honda again.
Oh. Super Mario Kart?
Fine, but we're not playing Rainbow Road.
Okay. Sure. Bye. He runs off. So Lucha goes back up, gets back into the jet. It's like, okay, I got the key.
Jeez, that took a while.
Hunter and I had a conversation. And he had to find the key, and he accidentally left it in his pants, and then it went into the hamper and almost got washed. It's the thing.
Okay, that's fair.
So Lucha turned.
By the way, that's a lot of Swedish fish.
Oh yeah. It's a collection. The guy thinks it's cute. What they don't know is most of those boxes are actually empty. I just put them back there.
Oh.
The joke is actually on you because those are all full boxes. I've had the robots clean them out.
Oh, fix it! The computer's talking again.
Yeah, because he's on.
By the way, don't open your closet door.
Which closet door?
Your closet door.
Okay. I'm sure that's.
It's almost like you hear the AI smiling.
Yeah, I know that. Don't ask. It's a thing. Computer, this here is Kestrel. He's a friend of mine.
Hi.
So you're making friends with other walking and talking animals.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
I think it's pretty swell.
Lucha
We can start a club.
Yeah, Lucha starts inputting or like going through the computer's like history and finds the coordinates for Utopolis and starts like putting them, basically activating them or putting them into the AI autopilot.
Location set. Autopilot engaged.
Hey,
I hope you're buckled up.
hold on a sec. Like, alert Dr. Casey that we're going.
is not affected by that, by the way.
Yay! I can fly the same
Before
speed.
before he takes off, he tells the AI to alert Dr. Casey that they're leaving.
Lucha, by the way, I'm going to need you to make an acrobatics check as the jet takes off before you're prepared for it. Okay, you do get jostled, but you manage to backflip out of it.
Woo! That's a way to keep someone awake.
That's not too bad. Oh, Lutra, this Utopolis place. Just on the off chance that it's not as safe as I think it is. Like, what sort of things might be here? Like, that could be bad, just in case. Like, on the off chance.
I have absolutely no idea. Last time we went, it was empty.
That's encouraging.
It does not take you too long to get back into the Nevada desert, where the ruins of Utopolis are buried underneath the sand. For those of you who do not remember what Utopolis looks like, if you've ever played Final Fantasy X, sort of picture the ruins of the Albed home sort of sticking out here and there in the sand. That's kind of what it looks like.
So as they're flying, Lucha gets his crossbow out, and he's just kind of like cleaning it and getting it ready, just in case.
Somewhere across the world, Anton shudders.
Right, exactly.
Ting, 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 ting.
So on the way there, or as they approach, Lucha looks at it, and he finally kind of falls silent. He's like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing?
You're going on an adventure, and you're finding out more about yourself.
I'm going back to the place where they tormented me. This was probably a really stupid idea. Why did I do this?"
This is a great idea. You should have done it.
Huh?
But no, I'm serious though, Lutra. Think about it. If you can get over this, you can handle anything.
Right.
And you do want to know more about what you came from, right? Like, really meant that stuff that you said about wanting to find out, like, where you came from and
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, alright. Alright, let's go.
Okay.
So it probably takes about 20 minutes to a half hour to get there, give or take. You land. Everything sort of looks similar to the last time you were here.
By the way, Lucha doesn't grab a flashlight because he has dark vision.
Castro has low light, which should be okay, but maybe a flashlight would be nice.
Lucha's like, "Oh, if you want one, go ahead. They're all right there."
Alrighty. Put that in my handy dandy satchel.
As Lucha heads off into the complete and utter darkness.
Alright, so it has been a couple, at least 5-6 months since you've been here, give or take. Not a whole lot has changed. So you descend the steps into the sort of metallic hallways. Where are you going?
The offices. That's a place to start.
So, I'm going to be giving you narration reins here in a minute.
Okay.
But before we do that, when you delve through your past, searching for fragments of who you once were, declare what you hope to achieve.
Ooh.
Lucha is hoping to find anything about where he came from, if there's anything left over in this place.
Alright.
Odd question, but is there any way for me to assist with that, or is that totally Lutra?
Guessing this is me.
This is totally Lutra. Test
No worries.
investigation.
Oh god. Woo!
Okay. On a 20 plus, you're going to find part of yourself, but it's reflected in the failures you see in your current location.
What does that mean?
So, I will explain what that part means, but you go ahead and describe a little bit of what you find.
Okay. So, Lucha is, looking through paperwork and whatever's left over from, multiple people at this point cleaning this place out. But he's going through different offices, and he's more along while he's focusing around the observation area, where the remnants of part of the one of the testing rooms is, Kestrel can see that most of the machinery in one of the rooms has been completely destroyed. Lucha does explain that was because last time they were there, Anton gave him his hammer and let him go to town.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Wait, Kestrel's like, wait, Anton has a hammer?
He used to. Before he had the Anton, he had a hammer. It was a thing.
That doesn't seem nearly as inventive.
It wasn't, but it was also kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway.
You know, if we were made out of, like, some back lasers or something.
Actually, kind of was. So, anyway, as he's digging through, he will find exactly one thing. It's the name, hold on, I wrote it down. Slivax.
All right. Okay. So, this document that you find, okay, it is, I mean, this place has been picked clean for the most part of anything. This is sort of like in the back of the sticky drawer of the filing cabinet, in the back janitor's office, in the back of the room of the observation, and you had to like yank and pull to get it open, and you almost missed it. And it's like a half piece of paper, like on the back, in the back of this filing cabinet. So the top has the letterhead that you recognize as the Project Farah letterhead. And there is a little bit of information that you see there. And it's discussing, it doesn't refer to you by like your name, but it refers to you by genus and species. You can tell it's talking about you because, 5 foot tall, genus, species, the whole shebang. And then you get the sort of the following is, writing from ship appears to be Slovaxian. So you don't get the name Slovax, you get Slovaxian,
right,
which you can determine from there.
Slovaxian.
And the only other notes you get there is, unfortunately, all records of the planet, and you have nothing else. And then, like, you get to the bottom, like, you get like, a bunch of faded stuff, and the only other thing you see at the bottom is i.e. C. Krypton.
Oh, geez, your planet exploded?
I didn't know we also had the DC universe in this.
We got every universe. We got comic books.
Right? So reading this,
and that's sort of the reflection of the failures of your current place, because this place has sort of gone to hell. It sort of exploded on itself. So that's what you have for information.
Gotcha. So Lucha looks at this and he's like, Slovakian? Slovax?
Is that like a country?
No, it's like they knew the planet existed. They figured out where I was from.
Ooh, I wonder if it's documented somewhere.
This is the only thing here. I looked through all of this. Well, what's left over, anyway. I mean, it's... Melchior and Jay were here, and I guess they took a lot. Maybe he's got something else. But, yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything else here.
But now we have a name to go off of. Like, that's great.
Actually, you're right.
We can take this name to somebody else.
Yeah. Lucha's staring at this paper, kind of like not reading it again. He's just staring at this paper, kind of dumbfounded.
Are you gonna be okay?
Kestrel, I just learned the name of my planet.
And aren't you excited?
I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't know what happened to it. Because it mentions this Krypton, which I don't know what that is.
Well, as a somewhat avid comic aficionado, Krypton was a planet for a superhero called Superman, and it was really cool. He was born there, they sent him away as the planet was exploding, and like he was the last Krypton sent to Earth, and they saved his life.
Okay, So through half of that explanation, Lutra's eyes widening, just staring at you. It's just clearly like after the word exploded, and he hasn't listened to a word you've said since. Like, what do you mean exploded?
There was a machine that was somehow made out of what?
What do you mean exploded?
Oh, well, it kind of depends on the the timeline that you're reading. But usually, like, there was a big problem that happens in the planet, and it's like collapsing in on itself and exploding and gonna like explode out from the core, and then they send Superman out for safety. So usually it means like the planet's obliterated, there's nobody left, but somehow all these different aliens keep appearing anyway.
He's still staring at you as you're talking. And it's like,
I just realized now this probably is not as comforting as I would like it.
So you're saying everybody on that planet's probably dead?
Well, it's possible, but also maybe this is just a theory. Like, how do they know this planet exploded?
Well, they know of the planet, which...
Yeah. But think of it this way. If your planet somehow exploded and you were sent to safety, maybe others like you were sent as well. Maybe the entire planet evacuated. Maybe they knew.
Oh. I guess that could be, but why would I get separated from everybody else? Why would no others come here?
If they are here, we just don't know it. Like, you do that belt thing, right? That, like, blend you in and make you look like a person?
That didn't come with me. Dr. Yoris created it for me.
Oh.
And then Dr. Casey put in this really handy wrist band, which is actually really nice.
Does look fashionable. But no, don't feel too bad about it. Like, again, like if your planet maybe had to be evacuated, maybe others did go someplace. Maybe they're in other planets. Maybe they're in other parts of the world. They just haven't been discovered yet. Like, there's so many things that we don't know.
That's true. Richard takes the paper and very carefully, like, folds it up or puts it into his pocket. So that's like the only thing here. All that time. I spent 20 years here.
20 whole years?
Yeah. Richard looks down the hallway to where his room is, or was, anyway. And he looks at it with, like, disgust and says, "Come on, let's get out of here."
Do you want to mess up the place a little bit more?
That wouldn't be a point. Richard says this as he starts walking, and as we pass by, like, some random office that, like, has nothing in it except, like, you know, your desk, your chairs, and everything else has clearly been, like cleaned out of it. He suddenly turns, walks inside, picks up one of the chairs, and just slams it against the wall as hard as possible, smashing the chair. Then he walks out and says, "Okay, now I'm done."
Ketchum pats Lutra on the shoulder. I thought so.
Now I'm done.
Yeah. Now I'm done.
So, you two head back to the jet, and we turn the page to the next comic panel, and it's sort of the whole area where Lutra just sort of threw his angry otter tantrum, and everything looks the same. But astute readers will notice that in the very back of the panel, sort of peeking around the hallway, there's just a set of two glowing yellow eyes. We turn the page again, and we are back inside everyone's favorite laboratory base facility, Stormbreaker Technologies. Lutra and Kestrel are on their way back. So, Anton and Jay, what were you guys doing during this whole period?
Well, Anton was having his discussion with Dr. Casey about needing to go along for the trip.
Right. Making sure satellite go boom.
Satellite must go boom. So after that, Anton's obviously kind of looking around, just kind of hanging out at the facility, just relaxing at this point.
So you're in the barracks watching Hunter play Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, and avoiding the second controller at all.
He is bugging the heck out of you to play.
What he doesn't notice is the headphones, the earphones.
You got the pods in way before they were a thing.
Pods before I came in.
He is going to sit there and beg you. So what I am going to need is a will save.
Oh God!
You have to beat his persuasion check. He does get you do get a -2 modifier because he is using puppy dog eyes. Okay, it still doesn't work. Anton is a hardened war veteran.
Puppy dog eyes do not work on me, kid.
But I even named your cool little toy.
You did. But no.
Next thing, so this happens, you go ignore, and then you look up 10 minutes later, and you are completely ignoring this. You're not entirely sure how this happened, but apparently through his nanotech manipulation, he has hacked into the game so that one of the characters now looks like you, and he is beating the ever-loving crap out of you over and over and over again.
Give me the controller now.
You said you didn't want to play. Finish him.
That's not cool.
And you get the uppercut into the acid again.
No, that's not happening. Anton grabs the controller and starts going at it.
As soon as you grab the controller, he does something, and you're no longer pictured in the game, and instead of being Anton, it's Baraka.
Anton just reaches up and slaps him in the back of the head.
Did you just gibbs him?
Yes, I did.
He has this look of, this pure look of you just hit a kid.
Your problem? I'll make it hurt next time.
I'll make things do this. And you see his fingers sort of doing some little, waggling thing, and then the Anton comes off of your shoulder, forms a hand, and gibbs you in the back of the head.
Oh. I deserved that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Runt.
He gives you the hand from the Anton now goes and gives you the okay. And then we get another comic panel where you're clearly not looking and he's clearly trying to make it do a middle finger, but it's all blurred out on the comic panel.
Just play the game.
All right, so that's what's happening with Anton. Jay!
Jay actually went back to the hotel because that's where all of his work is.
Okay. Is anything happening there, or just a regular old night?
Just a few random texts back and forth between a few specific individuals.
Fair enough. So this was Thursday. We all know that the satellite launch is happening on Saturday. Is anyone have anything they would like to do before Friday night?
Actually, yeah.
Likewise.
Lucha wants to have a conversation with Jay.
Okay, so describe to me how you're trying to get a hold of Jay.
Oh, easy. You go to ask Dr. Casey for Jay's phone number.
And what exactly do you want to talk to him about?
Well, he seems very connected, and there's a few things I want to talk to him about. Oh, actually, there's something I want to talk to you about, too. He takes...
You enjoy your flight back to Utopolis?
You know, it was a little weird at first, but I found something.
You did.
Yeah, he takes a piece of paper out and he hands it to Dr. Casey.
He scans it. Interesting.
Yeah, I have the name of what I think's my home planet.
Or, based on this information, what was your home planet?
Yeah, I'm trying really hard not to think it that way. But, I mean, you never know. I guess it's possible everyone else, if I got off, then everybody else might have too. That's what Kestrel was saying, anyway. Anyway, I wanted to know if you knew anything about this, or really anything else about Project Farah. Because...
Everything I knew about the project was the information that I already gave.
Well, for you, right. I was wondering if Jay knew anything different.
Well, that's something you'll have to ask him.
Right, that's why I wanted his phone number.
He throws you a business card.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Casey. I appreciate that. And as he's turning to leave Dr. Casey's office, he stops and turns around and says, Dr. Casey?
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you for everything and not giving up on me.
He just sort of smiles and goes back to his work. Which, if you take a look, he is clearly doing something with nanotech.
Lucia kind of looks back at... It looks like he's about to leave and looks back. By the way, what are you doing anyway?
Giving Carla exactly what she wants.
Oh, okay, right. Alright, I'll leave you alone then. Lucia just turns around and leaves, knowing that if he waits for an explanation of what it is, he's not going to understand it.
Well, you know that what she wants is nanotech.
Right, yeah.
She wants you to steal nanotech.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no two ways, there's no description needed. You know that's exactly what she wants.
Right, but he's expecting he's doing something special with it, so he's just...
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right, so he's just going to leave. With the card in hand...
You have this business card, which apparently is Jay's professional number.
Right. So Lucha gives said phone number a call.
So Jay, you are in your hotel room, and your work phone starts ringing.
I let it ring twice and it picked up. Why did he give you this number?
I don't know. I asked him for a number, and this is the number he gave me. Hi, Jay.
Could have given you my hotel room number.
Guess he could have. Well, I don't know. Anyway, hey, I was wondering if you have a moment.
I suppose so. As he says this, you hear feverish typing in the background.
Oh, good. So last night I went out to Utopolis. Wow. Went Sonic for a second.
Yes, Utropolis. It's where you go to have a wonderful tropical beverage.
Exactly. I went out to Utopolis last night, and I found something. I was wondering if you knew anything else about this. I don't expect you to, but you seem to be very well connected, so I thought I'd ask anyway.
My connections are interesting for sure. What'd you find?
So, I think I found the name of my home planet. They mentioned that the language was Slovakian. Or not Slovakian. How did you say it, Tej?
Slovakian?
Slovakian?
Thank you.
It sounds like a prescription medication.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I think that's a derivative of the name of my home planet. So, I was wondering if you knew anything, or knew of anyone who could tell me about that. or even just Project Farah in general. I know a lot about Project Farah, obviously as part of it, but I'm wondering if there's more out there that I don't know, because they have a lot more information about other planets than I would have thought.
Unfortunately, my interactions with people that really know a lot about the other planets of this system are kind of limited. They tend to be out a lot, and half of them are crazy anyway. So,
I see. Um, Gotcha. Well, do you know where I would look?
I tell you what, let me reach out to one of them. May be a while till they get back to me, but let me reach out to one of them and I'll see if he's heard anything or if any of his crew members might have heard anything of this area. I mean, they're all different, so very likely that one of them might have heard of the planet and might have some interaction with someone on the planet. So let me check with them, and after we get through this whole totally not a space laser thing, um, we'll look into it a little bit more.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Jay. I really appreciate you doing that for me. Oh, hey,
Oh.
hey! I heard something about paperwork. Did you need me to fill something out?
No. As I said, the paperwork was all just so I had your contact information, just in case I needed a way to get a hold of you guys for this whole Carla episode. But I think you're pretty much on board now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's good to talk to you. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Well, if I deal with Rocket at all, there's a lot that you're probably gonna have to do for me.
Okay, sure thing. Which has no idea. And with that, he hangs up the phone.
I am so curious now.
Lucha looks exceedingly happy. He also looks exceedingly tired because he didn't sleep much last night.
So if there are no other scenes that would like to be played out, we're going to turn the page. Oh,
I do have a
yes,
small thing, at least.
Go right ahead.
Nothing too big. But on Friday, at least, after they get back from the trip to Utopolis, Kestrel is going to go back to his apartment. Been a little bit since he's been there. But he's going to go back there to do a little bit of personal work in his loft, and also really just to kind of catch up on a few jobs there. So that's kind of the main thing. He goes back home for a short spell instead of staying at the tower.
So you get back to the sort of lots, and what sort of just sort of mundane sort of housework type of deal, nothing too super crazy, I would imagine. So you're back a couple of hours, and you get on your door.
Alrighty. Kester goes and he opens up the door. He's
It's
like, yes, can I help you?
It's your landlord, the one who you normally fix all the computer stuff for. So earlier today, a gentleman came by and dropped this off for you. He wanted me to give it to you. And he hands you just a regular plain envelope addressed to Kestrel.
Oh. Thanks, Mr. Hanson. It was I appreciate that. What did the gentleman look like?
He was very well dressed, full suit, bright red shirt, black tie.
Doesn't sound like Casey. Were you blinded by the suit?
No, like the suit was just a regular black suit, but the shirt itself was like this almost devilish red.
Ah. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't know where to place it.
Make an insight check. That's definitely the description Lucha gave of the guy who came and gave him the vision.
Oh. Did he say anything else? Like,
No, he just wanted me to give that to you.
okay. Well, good. Well, thank you for delivering this to me. It's very private mail, so so I really appreciate it. But don't mention anybody else.
Of course not. Oh, by the way, just a reminder, rent's due on the 5th.
Right. I'll get that to you. And
he saunters off. He saunters off.
Letters very often. This is definitely gonna be bad. You're laced with poison or arsenic. I gotta open it anyway. Catcher flips open and he kind of like goes it carefully.
Well, inside the envelope, the regular envelope, is not a letter. But what I am happening is I'm triggering your something to prove complication.
Huh.
Inside the envelope is a charred and burnt piece of fabric, which you recognize as the costume that your partner in crime used to wear.
Kestrel actually smells this to see if there's like how recent the scent of this might be like.
It definitely hasn't been, cleaned or anything. It still smells sort of the same way that it did back when everything happened.
Oh.
It's faded from then, of course. But
Kestrel just kind of look down at that and just kind of, hi. And he's got to kind of like mutter to himself a bit. And he's got to spend some quiet time in his room, back over some comps.
So, that happened. Lutra had his conversation with Jay. I'm assuming Anton is still getting hounded by Hunter, because that's what, 12, 13-year-olds do when you make them angry. They annoy the crap out of you. At this point, he's resorted to turning your Anton into a mechanical cat that whines every minute you walk in the room.
What an inventive kid.
Well, he's trying to think, what's the most obnoxious thing? And if it's not me and I can't be there, I'll make the Anton whine at him.
So, before we go too much further ahead, Lucha's actually gonna find Anton and walk up to him and say, "Hey, Anton, why is there a cat following you?"
I may have slapped Hunter in the back of the head, and this is my punishment.
So, as you say this, the nanotech cat comes up and starts rubbing up against Lutra's fur.
Aww.
Which is a very bad thing.
Oh.
Because it's technology and fur.
Oh.
And then immediately goes over and runs up against Anton with a massive static shock.
We'll get you, Hunter.
And then the cat cat climbs back up your shoulder and turns back into the way you normally have the Anton.
Stupid.
Okay, I mean, you gotta say one thing. He's inventive, at least.
He's something.
Right. Hey, I wanted to talk to you real quick. First thing,
What's up, Ultra?
I wanted to say thanks for saving my life, basically. If you hadn't been there, I think I may have died.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Sock.
Also, I wanted to say I'm sorry.
You were going through a lot, Lutra.
It's before that. It's part of the reason I know you were gone and really not able to be contacted, but there's a different reason I was a little flip when you first came back here.
Oh?
Honestly, I was really jealous of you.
I understand. I think because you can't see.
Yeah. Because you get to be with, her, and I still can't see, We're just clearly not saying names on purpose here. Even though we're in Stormbreaker technology, he's really trying not to.
Well, to be fair, Lutra, I wasn't supposed to be here now. I was supposed to be retired. But here I am,
Honestly,
looking at you, which I'm happy to see you. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see you. Would like to not be dealing with whatever this thing is in the sky. It's supposed to be a space laser, not a space laser. I don't know.
I don't think it. I think most of us would have just rather us just gotten on with our lives and been done with all of this, but apparently our lives just cannot stop doing this stuff.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But, at the end of the day, I mean, if we don't have a home, does it really matter?
Yeah. And I have to help protect Bay City, because, it's another thing I realized recently, is Bay City really is my home. As much as I have some new information about where I came from.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, actually, I have the name of my home planet. Or at least I think I do.
That's the start.
Right? Yeah, but then we think it may have also blown up.
Ooh.
I'm really hoping it didn't. I mean, but they mentioned the word Krypton.
Oh yeah, it exploded.
Well, I mean, I got out, so maybe everyone else did.
Anton pulls out a first edition of the.
Lucia holds his hands. I was like, I've been told the story. I really don't want to read it.
Yeah, you don't.
No,
it's not a happy ending,
right?
For 90% of the point.
Yeah, but the thing is, I got off, so I'm really hoping that everybody else may have gotten away from the. Maybe the planet just didn't really explode. Maybe something else about that Krypton planet different. You know what? I don't know. And honestly, I'm trying really hard not to think about that part of it. But until I can get more information about it.
OPT, do you have a humidifier behind you?
Yes.
Okay, because the way your head is positioned, it looks as if the steam was coming out of your ears as you were thinking. It was fantastic.
Nice. No, that's a
I'm
humidifier.
so mad! I takes all I can take, so I can't take no more.
Right.
Yeah. Also, Anton, you're way too excited about the word explosion.
I mean, Anton like Big Boom.
Where's the kaboom?
There's
There was
supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom!
Which may or may not happen.
Right.
Who knows?
It may or may not be a space laser. Who knows?
So-
It's totally not a space laser.
So before Lucha leaves you, he hugs you, and then goes off to Hunter to play video games with Hunter.
He cheats.
Oh, I know. Well, so do I, so it's okay.
Yeah, but he cheats with nanotech.
Well, I mean, yeah, but, what are you going to do?
As you say he cheats with nanotech and Lucha runs off, the Anton on your shoulder turns back into a cat.
Where's a box? And Anton's now looking around for an empty cardboard box to stick the Anton in for a moment.
So it gets to be, a little bit after dinner time, and you all get a message. Those of you who are still at the barracks, those of you who are not, from Casey saying, "All right, what I need to do is finished. Convene so we can talk about the plan."
Well, we're all around the dinner table, so... Oh, did you need us up in your office?
Well, you're still missing Kestrel and Jay.
Fair enough. We should probably call Jay and get him over here.
So Anton texts Dr. Casey, can you tell Hunter to stop being mean to me? I'm sorry.
You get a response back, well, next time, don't channel your inner Mark Harmon. For the record, I have told him to stop turning the Anton into a cat.
Thank you.
And as you go to find the Anton in the box, you put it, and it is no longer a cat.
What is it?
Lutra.
What?
No, that's what the Anton is.
No.
What?
The cat was smaller. The cat was less annoying. No.
It just shoots Anton random. It's all.
Yep. So now, you pull. Yeah, what happens is you pull the cover off the box, and the Anton is now Lutra, and just ping with a crossbow, and turns back into the Anton.
I just imagine, hi Anton! Boom! Hi Anton! Boom! Hi Anton! Boom! He's done. I think we broke him.
We broke Nora. We totally broke Nora.
So, of course, the next time Anton sees Lutra, for real, he's like, oh, hi, Anton!
So Anton messages Casey. He's like, okay, how do I deactivate Hunter's remote control of this?
You can't. It's his nanotech it's built off of.
Damn it. So, yeah, Anton walks in and just smacks Lutra in the back of the head.
Ow!
Just walks in.
Then you get a text from Casey. I suggest apologizing. But yeah, that happens. Lucha just gets smacked in the
Hey!
face.
What I do? Ow!
Hunter?
No, I'm not Hunter.
Yes?
I'm a Lutra.
Yes?
I'm sorry.
Okay. And it goes back to being the Anton.
You deserve that, Lutra.
What did I do?
You shot him like 3 times.
I didn't do any. What?
As you look over, the Anton turns back into a shape of you, waves, goes, hi, Anton, and goes back to being the Anton.
Lucha kind of Lucha stares at this and continues to stare at this after it's done, and kind of tilts his head back towards Hunter and says, you know what? Never mind.
I'd really like it if you'd leave the Anton alone, only because, it's the thing that keeps me from, dying sometimes.
If there was a fight, I'd let you have control of it.
Fine.
Also, we did learn that nanotech and otter fur make for great static charges.
You're a jerk.
So at this point, Kestrel and Jay can describe how they arrive, whatever they would like to.
For Kestrel, he eventually comes back into the building, and he kind of instead of like zipping in like he usually does, he actually kind of like floats in, kind of thoughtfully, and he's like got a satchel like over his shoulder, and he's kind of like holding it tightly as he's kind of like looking down, and he floats back. He floats into the main room and settles himself on the sofa there.
Jay?
Jay walks in to the area where everyone is and sort of, well, he opens up his bag and ruffles through it a little bit and then pulls something out and drops it on the table and says, "This is all the documentation I found on the laser. If you guys really want to read it before going on your endeavor, I wouldn't recommend it, but have fun."
What, you wouldn't recommend it?
I wouldn't recommend reading it. You would fall asleep.
I could use that.
I could just knock you out.
That doesn't work as well.
I have connections that I can get you. No, never mind. I saw what folks did to you.
Yeah, let's not go that route. Maybe.
Yeah, Hunter speaks up. Well, when I was the internet, I remember reading something about tryptophan in turkey.
Oh, I should make turkey. You know what? That's a great idea. I'm gonna make turkey for dinner.
So since everyone's sort of there, just in the barracks, it'll go into lockdown mode again, and Casey will come in and is like, all right. So she wants nanotech. We're going to give it to her. And he tosses Lutra a container.
Nope! We're just gonna give her what she wants? Isn't that, like...
Yep.
Are we sure that's a good idea?
What's the trick?
There's no trick. We're going to give her what she wants. Lutra's going to go there with the nanotech, claim he stole it from me, claiming I know nothing of it, and give it to her. The only trick is going to be Kestrel and Anton. You two are going to need to find a way to sneak onto that satellite.
And by
I'm
sneak
pretty
on,
sure I can.
by sneak on, he means get onto it by whatever means necessary.
Exactly. As long as you're on there before it launches. Preferably, the less casualties, the better. The less, the less scene you make, the better.
But, okay. I want to smash and go home. I'm done.
We smashing later.
Didn't you guys smash up an entire place already?
No, I don't know.
Well, the thing is the last incident, the last type of incident we want is one that delays the actual launch.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, if she didn't know my work, I could get you a couple of janitorial IDs. She knows what my work looks like. And he looks over at Jay. You wouldn't happen to have anybody that can whip a couple of those up real quick, could you? Or at least one and a service animal ID?
I was gonna suggest, sir.
If you would have given me yesterday, that would have been fine. But trying to get them to DC, from DC to here now is a little rough.
If you can
I
get
could
him,
go over there and get him.
Let's say we can get him here.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is you don't actually need IDs for service animals. Although trying to explain a service squirrel might be a little difficult.
He's a comfort animal.
I've seen comfort snakes before.
Jay pulls out his phone and gets on it and mumbles a few words and
I will not wear a vest.
Well, I've got one just for you.
hangs up.
We didn't
Give
even
it
have
5
this.
minutes. You're going to have a badge for an Omar. Oh, I don't know. He said some weird last name, but don't worry. It's not, anything exotic, but it's not your basic Smith. And then, Lutra, I hope you can become human because It's a picture of a human.
Well, they're expecting me anyway.
Well, that is true. Okay. Well, then you don't need the badge, I guess.
No, Kestrel needs the badge as the service animal.
Yes. I'm the odd duck out. Duck or squirrel.
Actually, Omar is going to have a very specific right of transport for a test squirrel.
Test squirrel?
Ooh.
Why does that fill me with a lot of anxiety?
I mean,
Probably should.
I mean, trust me, it's probably not nearly as bad as being an otter rocket.
No, I already told you
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
talking to Rocket.
So what am I testing, just so I know to act... I'm not going to be talking.
No.
Actually, to sell it the best, you're going to be in a cage sleeping.
Well, this is all sorts of rainbows and sunshine, isn't it?
Oh, it gets better. Because that cage is going to be the Anton.
I mean, that's less bad.
It's
You need your
really
weapon somehow, don't you?
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of creative. Though I don't... yeah.
I promise I won't shake the cage too much.
Thanks.
If you want, we can actually extend like an electric signal that you can zap him anytime.
No, the cage is good.
No. I was talking about you in the cage to zap Anton.
Wait. He's the research animal. Why am I getting zapped?
We didn't say what type of research it was.
So I'm controlling him.
Yes, the squirrel is testing your patience.
I mean, to be fair, everything's testing my patience today as Anton glares at Hunter.
Hunter just goes, I didn't do anything.
And at this point, Casey hears email tone on his computer.
Ding! I assume I need to go print that out.
I would suggest on very legitimate-looking badges.
Oh, here I thought I was going to have to run to Washington, D.C. and get the badges.
He just looks and goes, he just sort of shakes his head. Really? Casey runs back up, doesn't run, he heads up back to his office. He's gone for about 10 minutes, and he comes back with not only the badge for one Omar Manaya, which he hands to Anton, he also has all the proper documentation for Rocket the Test Squirrel.
I'll take it.
He looks and goes, if I had named you Rocky, they would have thought something was up.
Why did it take me so long?
Wow, you just thought of that? Like, that was my immediate thought.
I thought Rocket Raccoon!
Well, yeah, but...
No, Rocket Raccoon was the whole joke, but I just made a Rocky and Bullwinkle joke.
Right.
It all ties together.
Exactly. Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat!
That was
Watch you pull a squirrel out of it.
Bullwinkle.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, let's be honest. Kestrel and Anton are totally our Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it.
Oh, without a... Wait.
I mean, you got
No, it's
Moose...
okay.
You got
You're
Moose
the big
and...
dumb of the luck.
Hey, you got Moose and Squirrel.
And we even have our Russian.
I was going to say, for all you know, I know a Boris and Natasha.
That's a very good point. I forgot. Sergey.
He's the fearless leader.
He is fearless leader.
What is fearless to be done?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I believe you were given instructions on where to go, Lutra.
Yep.
So I suggest you go there. Anton, Kestrel, will let you guys know where to go. And Mr. Jago, we'll be monitoring from here, I assume?
For sure.
All right. So we turn the page. And we turn the page from Friday to Saturday. And the satellite launching facility.
Woo!
Yes?
Then
Okay. So, this is sort of an off.
What is that from?
I googled satellite launch, and that's what I got.
Gotcha. Probably SpaceX, actually.
probably
Oh, NASA.
Well, that would be a rocket booster. And the satellite's probably up already over there.
Yep. So this is sort of out of the city limits a little bit. There is a facility there, and you end up there. You sort of walk up, and there is the one building, the main building, and there's definitely a receptionist there. And she looks at you. Ah, we've been expecting you. Please follow me.
Oh, okay.
And she walks you down a couple of very sterile-looking hallways. And she leads you to a room that just says prep room. Go in there, watch the video, follow the instructions, and then when you're directed, just head out into the satellite, and everything should be okay.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
And you go in. I'm not going to get into too many descriptions on the video here, but it's about 10 panels or so of a how to don and doff a spacesuit.
Does it have a space for a tail?
It does, actually.
Nice.
So there is a specifically designed Lutra spacesuit.
Oh, nice.
How did they get his measurements? He was
It's comic books.
Right.
That's how. So you get this whole thing, and it shows you how to doff and don the suit.
Does it tell him to put on the suit now, or?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because he goes ahead and does that.
Yeah. So he's basically, we get this really cool little comic picture of Lutra in the full suit, holding the helmet, looking very Neil Armstrong.
Otters in space.
They came from outer space.
Space. I'm disappointed it took that long to get to that joke.
It was already there, trust me.
It really
Yeah,
was.
it was.
So you get that, and you get the. All right, about 20 minutes to launch, and you get the. Come on over, come on in, and the door opens, and you sort of get the long walk. Now you've seen sort of like the walks of the space shuttle type of deals. You know, it's sort of that thing again, but it's just Lutra walking there.
That sounds so.
Yeah.
We're just heading over.
Don't they usually like train for years?
Yes.
20-minute educational video. You are now a qualified astronaut.
He watches Fallout 4 video on how to be in space.
Yes.
Right.
So you make your way inside, and well, how about we go inside the satellite?
Oh, that was like a Fantastic Four set.
So you walk into
Satellite's
this building,
Big.
this inside the satellite, and you see two people you recognize. Waiting there is Carla Bryce, who you had the little interview with,
Right.
and the man from the Vision, both of which are sitting there like, "Oh, you made it." She looks at you and goes, "If you brought your end of the deal, I'll fulfill mine."
Lucha holds up the container. Yeah, I got. He's kind of like staring at Jeremiah, like, so you are real.
And why would I not be real?
Well, I mean, I was kind of in the middle of a drugged up kind of fantasy at the time. Wasn't really sure what was real at that point.
That's what made it so easy to get inside your head.
Would assume so. No, yeah, Lucha holds up the container and says, I got it.
He goes over and takes it from you. He goes and does it, and she goes, "All right, please come and sit down."
Yeah. So, question.
Answer.
I thought all I was doing was bringing you the nanotech. Why did you want me to be part of the whole thing?
Because the entire point of this satellite is to leave this world for another one. I'm simply going to drop you off where you would like to go before I go where I want.
Drop me off where I want to go.
You said you wanted to see him again, did you not?
You know, that wasn't very specific. He looks over at Jeremiah. Who is the them, or he, or who are you talking about?
Why, your friend Phantasm, of course.
Okay. I have a question. How in the world do you know he exists?
I know lots of things.
That's great. I know a lot of things.
Some that may come to pass, and some that may not.
Okay. I know how to make a lot of waffles in the morning too. That doesn't mean I know know things that shouldn't exist.
I have possession of an artifact that shows me what can be, what couldn't be, what could possibly be, and what is.
It's fake magic, isn't it?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Shouldn't mess around with that stuff.
Oh, I'm not messing around with it. I simply open it to a page and it shows.
Oh. Guess that's better.
So do you want to see him or not?
Of course.
Then have a seat. Wait for the launch.
Lucha sits down. Kind of like...
Okay.
He sits down, he's kind of like squirming around like, okay.
Okay, so we're going to turn the page. And Anton and Kestrel, you are walking up to the allowed entrance, the with the secretary, and she looks at you and goes, "I wasn't expecting anybody else today. Can I help you?"
The special delivery, test raccoon for the shuttle.
Test raccoon. No, we don't have any scheduled test raccoons.
Well, documentation's all here. I'm supposed to deliver this raccoon,
Squirrel.
squirrel, whatever.
She looks at you, oh, you mean squirrel? How did you get a squirrel and a raccoon confused? She looks at the name. Oh, that's how. She looks. Documentation is all in order. I'll just need to see your badge so I can scan you in.
Here you go.
Beep. It takes an agonizing 20 seconds for it to.
Yeah, Anton's sweating at this point.
Verified. All right. Third door on the left is the prep room. Watch the video. Although you probably don't have time for that, so I suggest you very quickly rush your way up there, because if you're just dropping off the squirrel, you don't need the spacesuit. So I suggest you just head up there and drop him off before the launch. You've got about 10 minutes.
So Anton, on his way through, goes ahead and grabs the spacesuit, just runs into the room, snags one, and runs.
You just make the noise.
Well, that's what your spacesuit's probably going to be.
Oh.
Because they probably didn't make one for a 2.5-foot squirrel.
There's fish bowls.
Yeah. So at this point, we're sprinting towards the satellite.
So you managed
Go faster, go faster!
Yep, you managed to get to the door. You open it. You get in there. You close it, and within probably a 5 to 10 minute time window, you're going to have the thing starting to launch. But we're going to turn the page again.
So the last thing you see there is Anton putting on the spacesuit at this point.
Yeah, in the satellite. So now we're going to turn the page again, and we are back at Stormbreaker Technologies with Casey and Jay.
So, Thomas.
Yes?
You know Lutra much better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Are you certain that he would be enticed by the possibility of meeting Phantasm again?
Considering everything that he put himself through because of that, I think there's a good possibility of it.
Because if he's not in the proximity when they launch that, they're not going to go to the right area. We're going to actually hit the assimilation process rather than just transporting them all to another dimension.
That's the thing. There won't be an assimilation process.
Well, there won't.
Well, even if he just hands them the nanotech and goes, there won't be an assimilation process. I corrupted the nanotech I gave him.
Oh, I thought that it was going to be a reaction with stuff planted on Lutra rather than the corrupted nanotech.
Nope, I corrupted the nanotech I gave him, which is the reason I didn't say anything about it. Anton knows it's corrupted. I discussed it with him. Which is why they're there, to make sure that if something does go crazy, that the three of them are at least together wherever the hell things go.
Well, I hope the corruption went well, because we need them to go to a specific time. Specific dimension.
Well, that's the thing. The corruption, he pulls up a screen. Boop. Oh, good. They've uploaded it. We now have control. Where do you want them to go? And that's a great page-turning moment. So, we turn the page again. And it's not a scene we've seen before. This is, well, it sort of is. It's Bay City. We're in Bay City. And we're back on the water. And Lutra, you hear this. You were all excited for this, and now you're asleep on the dock before we even leave? Wake up, let's go!
Huh? Oh.
And you wake up to the docks. And sitting there on the boat, there is Hunter, there's Dr. Casey, and there's Gale.
Oh. Hey.
And it looks as if it's a water skiing excursion.
Oh boy. Oh, this is great. When doesn't I just... You know what? It doesn't matter. Lucha stands up and he looks around for the handle for the water ski rope.
It's perfectly there, just like the last time you did it.
Lucha grabs a hold of it and says, I don't care what this is.
You just hear, hold on tight, and it gets gunned. So I am going to need an athletics check. You hold on magnificently. Go ahead and describe what happened.
So, Lucha, this being only his second time, but he has gotten... Somehow, he's actually starting to jump, like, over the wake behind the boat. He's doing that thing where he's jumping in between, doing, like, flips even, tricks in the water. He is having the grandest of grand old times right now.
Like, so this whole thing goes on, and the best way I can describe it is if Lucha was sort of planning, like, the perfect, like, everything goes the exact perfect way day, like, that's what's happening.
Right.
So about an hour or so into this, go ahead and make an insight check. You definitely know that something isn't right here.
Oh. Lucha knows this, and at the moment, he doesn't care. Like, it's in the back of his mind that something's wrong, like, this shouldn't be happening, and he doesn't care. Like,
okay.
Right now, he's enjoying whatever this is. He knows it's wrong, and he doesn't care.
Okay, so we turn the page again. And at this point, Anton and Kestrel have made their way into the satellite. And they're sort of, that sort of scene we got from the cover, where they're both sort of peeking their heads around the cover inside the satellite looking. And we get the exact scene from the cover. At this point, the satellite has started to shake, it's launching, and you get that scene from the cover where it's launched at this point. I don't need to describe the launch. So you get that scene where she's sort of looking out over the space. You see Jeremiah there, and Lutra is in one of the chairs, and there are tubes and tubes coming off of him. And in one tube, there is what appears to be a red substance being filtered in and out of a machine that appears to be, I'll give you free that one's blood. It's being pumped out of Lutra, filtered through a machine, and then back in. And then there is another set of tubes on him, filtering some sort of orangish, yellowish energy out of him. Anton can make an insight check on that. You're not entirely sure if it's even possible, but the only thing you can think of is they're siphoning off cosmic energy.
At this point, Anton reaches over and activates the Anton on Kestrel.
Alrighty. And that stuff, then will latch onto me and make a spacesuit, I'm assuming?
Yeah, more or less.
Fair enough.
So... what do we do about this, Kestrel?
This looks bad.
Well, not only does it look bad, but, you have the Anton. I don't.
Yeah. And also, as I feel this thing kind of on me, I have a realization that's probably going to be kind of hard to move super fast using my arm flaps when I'm stuck inside a machine type thing.
Yeah, just use the jet booster on the back.
It sounds so slow. But
we're floating in space. We're not going to be very... You have nothing to push off of.
Yeah.
Anton at this point is like, try to move fast around here. Just to demonstrate for Cat.
Well, we're not even in space yet, though. We're still ascending, right?
No. You're in space at this point. We sort of washed over the launch because I didn't feel like describing it.
Okay, so we're in the space and oh dear. Yeah, Kestrel's like, oh dear, I feel like I'm in soup.
I was promised cheesy movies. Where's the cheesy movies?
We're getting there.
Okay.
We gotta get in there, right?
We're gonna have to do something.
So before you guys move, go ahead, and I'll give you this because they don't care. They don't think anyone else is there. You just hear this. So how's everything looking on that? Jeremiah responds, well, everything appears to be exactly as we expected. So all we have to do is initialize, and I'll be home. You'll begin the process, and everything is going to work out wonderfully.
Anton, is that Jeremiah guy? Or is he from another planet?
I don't know. But I don't think they know we're here. I don't think there's anyone else. I think we can take...
Oh, we can totally take them, but we gotta get in there first. Maybe we can find a service hatch. Oh, I got a great idea. Well, I will if we can get inside, but yeah.
I have a great idea. That's going to be the last panel there, because we're going to turn the page again back to Stormbreaker Tech, because I have a great idea is a perfect way to end the page there. So we're back at Stormbreaker Tech, and Casey's going to look and go, okay, they're in space, and from the sounds of it, they're getting ready to do this. What do you want to do?
We need to find the dimension where the realm of Earth that we kind of exist on here is referred to as solstice.
He starts vigorously typing, like almost as fast. Like he is typing almost as fast as Kestrel talks. Not quite as fast as Eric talks, but still pretty fast. It's like, okay. Hold on. Got it. It's locked in. Just tell me when you want me to lock the coordinates for them.
We want to send them to the same position that they are right now. If we send them too far away, they could basically get separated. Not physically separated, but I mean, we could be talking about hundreds of miles of distance.
No, that's fair. Alrighty, so let me know when to hit this, and we will go ahead.
We don't want it within 5 minutes. Beyond 5 minutes of when they actually launch. So we have to. I would recommend waiting to hear until they're getting ready to start a countdown or something.
All right, and then we'll get the whole 20 minutes later panel. All right, from what I can see, they're activating.
Okay, go ahead and hit it.
3, here we go, and go ahead. And I am going to step out of the GM chair for a minute. Krim, what's happening?
Okay, so much like most would expect, something in space launching something down towards Earth would happen. You start hearing a giant rolling of the machine starting to kick into gear and everything. And then the sirens in the space station go off. And you hear system overload. And then, all of a sudden, the entire spaceship becomes transparent.
Kestrel, I don't like where this is going.
Wait. The entire spaceship is transparent? Are we transparent too?
Yep,
No. The spaceship itself. So you can see through everything, and you can see everyone else.
Oh dear.
There is no one else. It's just the 5 people on the spaceship. There's Carla, there's Jeremiah, there's Lutra, there's Kestrel, there's Anton. That's it.
Okay, at least they're not in the bathroom. I'd feel.
So as this happens, basically the best way to describe it is almost like a computer where the spaceship starts redrawing itself, but it is only in like a stencil grid type drawing. And then you have pixels sort of falling down towards the Earth. And then other pixels are sort of generating in front of you. And you are actually seeing this new Earth sort of build up around you.
New Earth?
Yes.
Literally a planet?
Yes, you guys are actually teleporting through a dimension and basically dropping in on this different planet, the solstice that I just referenced, but your characters don't know that. But solstice is sort of appearing around you. So to you, it looks like the planet substantiating underneath you. But to anyone who would be witnessing this, which is no one, you would actually be sort of like digitizing almost.
I am interfaced!
Agumon Digivolve too.
Castromon!
As long as we don't DNA digivolve, I'm fine.
Only when you fusion ha.
Fusion.
So the planet's forming around us like a literal planet.
Right. And for you guys, specifically up in the space station, you're not entirely sure that you're teleporting to a new place. You just see all this transparency. But the planet that's sort of materializing underneath you, from your perspective, looks exactly the same as the one you just left. Like, from the space side of things, it looks the same.
Okay, so we are still in space looking down on this planet as it's material.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Like you're sort of watching it materialize. It sort of looks that, but and then sort of you start materializing. The satellite itself starts to dematerialize, and because I like these so much, we haven't got one in a while, so we are getting the big white flash of light.
Ooh, I haven't gotten to see one.
So we are going to get this big white flash of light. And before we figure out what's going to go on there, we're going to turn the page again, and we're going to be back in Stormbreaker Tech, and just going to be, well, did that work?
Well, we have to wait until we get a track on them. I mean, that might be a little while. But
All right, I'll work on that now.
well, I mean, at least one good thing is we're not getting their signal from around here.
Well, that's good.
Right now, I just picture Lutra saying, "How is that good?"
Yeah.
We're all thinking it.
Yep. So we turn the page again, and the white flash is gone, the satellite's gone, and sort of you three are sort of in the same, like, the flash is gone, and Carla and Jeremiah are nowhere to be seen. But you three are sort of in the same sort of relative locations you were in relation to each other. Lutra is definitely still sitting down. There is no longer any more tubes coming out of him.
Is he lucid now? Or lucid?
Oh yeah. He was still completely lucid. He was like out of. I'm going to peel back the curtain here on the comic. Her biggest power is illusions. So she basically just did something and locked you in an illusion world.
I get that part.
Right. So
I was just wondering when he popped out of it.
Yeah, like basically you popped out of it with the flash of light.
Okay. So he didn't see any of this materializing stuff.
No, he did not see any of the materialization.
So as far as he knows, that's the same planet they just left.
Right, and the same thing, and like I said, same sort of thing. Like all Anton and Kestrel saw was the materialization of this planet. They don't necessarily know it's a different dimension.
But
right.
But we're both looking at each other right now, kind of going, "What did we just see?"
This just got a lot more
So
complicated.
Lutra gassed himself awake. Like,
so you guys sort of are all sort of relatively like, in comparison to each other, and you're sort of exactly where you were, but instead of there being a launch site there, it's just sort of open field.
So
but
we're actually like on the planet's surface now, right?
Yes, basically you're at where the launch site was, but there's no launch site. It's just open field.
Are we still in the ship then, or are we just standing?
Nope.
Okay.
Ship is gone.
Yeah, there's no
Ship is gone.
So Lucha kind of like jerks up. It's like, okay. Guys, what happened?
Kestrel's actually holding like a grenade, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll stuff it back into his fucking ass." Guess we would need this.
Editor's note. Yeah, editor's note. We don't know where the squirrel got the grenade.
So I guess Kestrel, can I have my Anton back? I don't think we need it.
Okay, I mean, you're probably better with it anyway. So Kestrel kind of like takes it off like Venom symbiote.
Okay, I knew that was too good to be true, but where are we?
Well, we were in space.
Okay, so that did happen.
So the two animals, it still definitely smells like Bay City.
But it's not like it's a launch site, though. We would recognize that, right?
I mean, ish, yes.
I'm actually gonna fly real quick, like zip like millisecond over to Stormbreaker Technology, make sure like the building's still there and such.
The building is there, but it looks blacker.
Can I zoom up to the windows and look inside and see if I like in the like barracks area and see if it looks good?
You can try.
I do so. I fly up there. Look
As
around.
you get within about 5 feet of the building, you are going to run into a force field. Thunk.
Ow!
Go ahead and make a toughness save. What's your speed rank?
When flying, my speed rank is 14.
Okay, then go ahead and make a DC 24 toughness save.
Ooh, that ain't gonna happen. But let's take a look.
I get the feeling
run headlong into this force field that you weren't expecting.
I get the feeling that he's going to smash into it like a cartoon and just kind of peel off and fall downwards. Oh, never mind.
I mean, he's not damaged by it, but we definitely get the full-on cartoon.
Like where he's like stuck in like a Garfield inside of a...
And he starts to slowly like squeak down the force field.
At least it's not electrified.
This is... okay,
I thought about it.
He's just back to Lutra and Anton.
But while you're gone, just literally looks at Anton and says, "Okay, so what happened? We were in space and now we're not. What happened?"
Yeah. Anton just looks perplexed at this point.
All I remember is Carla and Jeremiah were there. I gave him the nanotech. I sat in a chair, and the next thing I remember, I was water skiing on the river with Hunter, Dr. Casey, and Gale.
Yeah, and Ketchel and I were in the service bay, and we were about to gas the plate.
Right. Like, I know that wasn't real. I could kind of tell, but I gotta be honest, I didn't really care.
Was any of it real?
I don't know.
Is any of this real?
I don't know.
At that point, Kessler Kai zooms back in. He says, guys, Stormbreaker technology, I can't get inside. I checked it out real quick, and, was there a force field before?
No.
No. Not that... I mean, there might have been, but we didn't have a problem with it, if it was.
Because there's a force field now, and it's really hard.
There wasn't a force field before because we went into the future. If there had been a force field, Hub would have activated it.
Yeah, we'd have probably had less battles on the roof.
And besides that, like, Mr. Casey should be expecting us anyway, so, like, we've been going in and out of there like clockwork. So, the building also looks kind of funny. Like, it looks a little bit darker.
Anton, give me your phone.
Do we still have all of our stuff that we brought with us, by the way? We're not missing
all
anything.
The stuff you brought with you is still there.
Why am I giving you my phone?
Just give me your phone.
Anton begrudgingly hands over his phone to Lutra.
Lutra just immediately calls the number for Dr. Casey's office.
And have signal?
Nothing happens.
Right, that's what I mean. That's what I figured.
Yeah, like, no signal.
Okay. He holds it up like, see this? It's not working.
I mean, it did just go through a space shuttle satellite line.
Well, wait a second, though. What about that whole Galaga thing that we watched?
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah.
Okay. All right. One question. What's Galaga?
Yes.
Galaga is a arcade event.
Yeah,
it's a video game thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll deal with that later. Right
anyway,
now
it just looked really weird outside the space station. And there were like, I thought it looked like kind of like video game characters moving together, like pixel blobs, and like they were all falling and moving, and then like we're here. Like it looked very, very weird.
And where are they?
The only thing that looks weird around here would be you trying to fly into the building.
Who said that?
At this point, you see someone, well, it kind of looks like this flying over to you.
Gear?
That's the art, definitely.
Sorry.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, Anton just immediately activates his armor.
Lucha,
just out of... like, no.
Yeah, Lucha just kind of holds his hand. Hold on. Hi there. Sorry about that. Didn't know. Who are you?
And with that, it quickly cuts panel, and it's just a one-panel screen of Carla just screaming at the top of her lungs, what on earth happened that there was a malfunction? And by the way, they are in a place that nowhere looks like anything that you guys are seeing.
It's a nondescript background.
Which means they're not around you.
Right. So we get back
to
that much. Yeah, we get back to who am I? I'm the person who is supposed to be making sure there's no disturbances around my city. And a giant 2-foot-tall squirrel crashing into the force field around my building is definitely a disturbance.
Well,
Your
hold
building.
on.
That's
Wait,
true.
Hold on.
Oh.
Your building?
Yes, my building. Well, technically my father's building, but whatever.
Hunter?
Wait, what?
No.
Maybe we should introduce ourselves. That seems like the polite thing to do. You go first.
I don't really give a damn who you are. I want to know why you're trying to fly into my building.
Oh, because we didn't know it was your building.
I really didn't know it was a no-fly zone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a building we came from, sort of, but not really.
You came from, but not really. I've never seen any of you in my life, so there's no way you came from my building.
Well, it was that building, just not on...
Wait. Hold on. Are we in Bay City?
I think
Still?
so.
Yes?
What's the name of this
Where
building?
would you think you are?
Well, we think it'd be on Earth, but, I don't even know anymore. Because there was a big space station here.
There was no space station.
Do you know someone named Carla Bryce?
Am I supposed to?
No.
What about,
no, you're not.
What about
Fine.
Thomas Casey? Is that name sound familiar at all?
At this point, as soon as you say that, there are 2 nanotech swords in his hand.
Whoa, hold on.
I think he knows that name.
Yeah, probably. Look.
Keep my father's name out of your mouth.
It's okay.
I can tell this is a complicated situation.
Yes. Look, we're not really from around here.
Well, I kind of gathered that.
Look,
And frankly, all I'm going to ask is the following. Are you planning on causing a ruckus in my city?
weren't really planning on it.
Not
Good.
particularly.
Then you are no longer worth my time or effort. Goodbye. And he flies off.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, I can fly after him. Should probably.
don't bother.
So, he said Casey was his father, but he said he wasn't Hunter.
You laughed.
Did Casey have another kid? Wait a second, Hunter wasn't his kid in the first place.
You're right. I forgot that.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm really confused.
Well, this probably has something to do with that other dimension or other planet thing that they were talking about before. Okay.
And where's Carla and that red guy?
They're not around from what I can tell, and I'm kind of okay with that.
At this point, you hear, oh, don't mind him. He's always that way. He doesn't take to new people very nicely.
Oh, who's that?
We have another?
Oh, yeah.
Of course it's another. Oh, hi.
Hi! Who would you be? Ma'am, sir?
Rebound?
Hi, Rebound. My name's Lucha. This here's Kestrel, and this here's Anton.
Hiya.
Hi. Yeah,
hi.
Don't mind Oliver. He's always a bit of a sourpuss.
Right. So, I think we
So you guys know each other.
kind of ended up in the wrong part of town.
Wait a second. Kester flies up to us, he actually starts, looking around him, from different angles. Wait a second. The domino mask? The outfit? You're a superhero, aren't you?
Yeah. And even though he won't admit it, he kind of works for me. There's a bunch of us.
Really?
Us? This is great.
Yeah?
We're heroes, too. Well, kind of. Anyway, that means, you're one of the good guys.
Yeah? That means you're one of the good guys, too, I would assume. Otherwise, you would have been fighting with him.
Exactly.
The presidential announcement will be happening in 3 minutes.
that?
Presidential announcement.
Yeah, the president's going to be coming out and announcing something. Quick, follow me. We can get to someplace where we can watch it.
Okay.
Hear it. At least hear it. I don't know if we'll be able to watch it, Tim. We'll definitely be able to hear it. Come on.
All right.
You sound excited about this.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all can make an insight check.
I have a feeling, but I'm going to test to see if I know what that feeling is. Oh, dear.
Hold on. For some odd reason, my sheet doesn't see. Can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go. First one.
Yeah, you froze for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to use the first one. It actually makes sense for Anton and Lutra to pass this one.
I spent less time. Makes sense.
Rebound reminds you an awful lot of Hunter.
I was going to say, I kind of figured already.
Oh, yeah.
It's still kind of fun.
Yeah, Lutra's not going to say anything, but he's going to nod.
No. He doesn't look like the Hunter, like the hair color is different, but the attitude definitely reminds you of him.
Right.
So are you guys like a super team? Do you have a special name?
He's already taken off running, expecting you guys to follow.
Oh, yeah, no,
him.
we're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's asking these questions as they're going.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of us. I mean, there's Spook and there's Myrmidon and he goes, and then there's the I can never remember his name. What is his name? Anyway, yeah. There's a bunch of us.
Oh, that's so cool. There's actually an active superhero team in Bay City.
There's 7 of us. Although, like I said, Oliver doesn't pretends like he doesn't. Anyway, come on, we gotta hurry up. The announcement's gonna start.
Okay.
Lutra kind of, as he's running behind, he's like, remember, it's not really our Bay City. I imagine at this point, Anton's like turned the Anton into like some kind of hoverboard thing so he can keep up with the speedy
he's
running.
Full static shock here.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not Freakazoid.
Fun show.
Good afternoon, citizens of Solstice. This is your president.
What solstice?
I would like to just give an update on the current status of the nation. We are still at civil war with Salome. We will not bend to her demands. We will not give in to her threats. All mutants, be ready and be on the lookout for any opposition. Remember, if she is in your area, you are not safe.
Shalom.
We have recent intel that she has, within the past 30 minutes, returned from wherever she was. Please be on the lookout.
Lutra's face looks pale.
At this point, after the announcement, Rebound stops running and sort of does the slow turn. His hand is definitely on. You can clearly see a boomerang in his on his side. Wait a minute. Are you working with her?
Not on
no.
purpose.
Anton's looking at the two of Kestrel and Lutra's like, do I look like I'm working with them? That these two are definitely mutants.
She was there. That was Carla, remember?
Yeah, of course. I remember him talking about it. He's actually that Salome person.
Right. We were trying to sabotage her.
So, wait. Something had to have gone wrong, or else we'd be with her, right?
I don't know.
Or something went right.
That's true.
Or perhaps you're just red herrings meant to distract us. Thank you for at least bringing them closer, Rebound. I'll take it from here.
It's taking what from here?
Your presence is requested.
I'm guessing by the president?
Oh no, by my father.
Oh, Doctor.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah, right.
Wait, he's not our...
Yeah, he's not the same one we know. Apparently.
This could be a problem.
Could be.
Well, you really have two options. Option one is you come with me, or option two
no, we're coming with.
is
Yeah, we're not going to resist.
We're
Good.
coming with.
then let's.
We're the good
yeah,
guys.
Good.
I mean, I'm looking for a fight, but you don't look like the type I'd...
He looks to be about 16.
Yeah.
I could probably take you, but I really don't want to.
Yes.
Lucha looks over and says, "You couldn't take Hunter in Mortal Kombat."
But,
It was
Castro,
kind of
make
embarrassing.
Castro, make a perception check. You notice that when Lutra says it, Rebound twitches ever so slightly.
Huh. Oh, wait. Oh!
Come on, let's go. Rebound, just stay out of the way. Go do whatever it is you usually do. Just go.
Leave him alone. He's a nice kid.
He's
Hey, aren't you guys on
loud
the same team?
and obnoxious. He thinks we're on the same. We're not. He just gets in the way.
Sounds like he's got a few setbacks.
So you guys follow him into this sort of darker version of Stormbreaker tech. Everything sort of looks similar to that, to what you recognize. You guys make your way up, and as you sort of go up there and go in, you overhear the end of a conversation, and it's definitely the Dr. Casey voice you remember. It's like, look, yes, I've sent Oliver to go get them. They're on their way here now. So if you want, they probably have the information you need. Yes, just get here. And no, for the love of everything, I'm not calling you Mr. President. I don't care. I've known you too long for that. I'll see you in 30 minutes.
By the way, did we recognize the voice of the president?
Vaguely.
Okay.
That's not reassuring.
I have several thoughts now.
Basically, because I wasn't going to do it with my voice, his voice has a very gritty tone to it. So it's semi-raspy, but it's not... It's completely discernible. You can tell what he's talking about. It's just a really deep,
Yes,
raspy
very
voice.
Growly, raspy, something kind of along these lines, I would imagine.
If we didn't see it, we only heard it.
Right.
You
Right.
specifically only heard it because you couldn't get to a spot close enough in time where you could have a TV, but you were definitely there for the speaker.
Gotcha.
At this point, you see a very muted Dr. Casey, not the bright suits that you're used to. This is very like prim, proper, like regular,
Okay.
looks normal.
Definitely in a different dimension, because the Dr. Casey we know wears really colorful suits.
It's kind of depressing.
I know.
This world is kind of.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And in case you didn't hear the announcement, Salome is back. And from what I understand, you guys appeared about the same time she did.
Yeah, we might actually be partially responsible for being here.
Don't.
There's
We're
no
not
reason to lie to the guy.
It's not that. I don't know if we're actually responsible so much as we were just involved.
Right. Oh, that's true.
I mean, unless that stuff they were taking out of you somehow caused it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're taking
Oh,
like this
yeah.
orange stuff at you and this red stuff out of you.
What?
No, the red stuff they were pumping back into it, but they were
Right.
taking this
They were
orange-
filtering it.
Filter.
Yeah, they were filtering something out of you. We think it might have been cosmic energy, but I don't.
Lucha kind of wise eyes like, my cosmic radiate. That's what I. He kind of tries to feel. He tries to like call up his energy like he normally does.
Still there.
Oh, okay.
Ish.
Phew.
Look. You're not off to a very good start. And this is Oliver talking at this point. You can tell from the accent.
Yes.
You've just admitted to either being the direct cause or directly involved with her returning here. The only reason that we haven't thrown your asses in jail is because the president himself wants to talk to you.
Somehow I don't.
So,
You don't think
Yeah, I'm not all about this
yeah,
either.
she was in our world.
Well, then that's lovely information for you to give to the president. The question I have is, do you know where the hell she is now? This point, Oliver, enough. They're guests until proven otherwise.
And to answer your question, no, we unfortunately don't.
If we did, we probably would have done something.
Because we were...
At this point, Oliver
I
just
mean,
storms off in a huff.
He's kind of a stick in.
That's unfortunately my doing. He means well. He just is very, very business-like. And to be fair, the state of the world right now
Sounds pretty bleak.
kind of required.
What was that like? It sounds like almost there's gonna be like a war almost.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, between what's the word that they
You
call
have
them?
mutants and
Yeah, mutants.
I'm not the best one to. Save that for when the president.
Okay.
He should be here fairly soon.
So, Dr. Casey, can I ask you a question?
You just did.
Can I ask you another one?
You just did.
Darn. What's the name of your company here?
Stormbreaker Technology is why.
Interesting. It's the same one.
do we ask him about the Black King stuff?
I'd rather not.
Yeah, that's not.
That might actually get us killed.
Oh yeah, that's
It won't get you killed.
I had to work on my whispering.
Or maybe don't whisper in a place where you don't know if there's specialized hearing involved.
I mean, it's Dr. Casey's office. He had nanotech.
He's still got the nanotech.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's
still him.
probably a staple in every single universe.
Well, you did just see Oliver produce 2 nanotech swords out of thin air.
Right.
That's true. That's what made me think it was Hunter. So,
Can we borrow your kitchen? We just kind of can we get some food?
eat now?
I mean, the
Maybe-
president's gonna be here. I don't want to look like a slob, but I don't want to be hungry either.
Well, he says he's going to be here any moment, so maybe afterwards.
Aww.
I'm a really good cook.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
Though you have to like fish. If not,
I don't have to. I make all sorts of things. I literally made
Cheese
every
fish.
single thing inside of our Dr. Casey's refrigerator last night, or few nights ago.
Oh, I have questions that I don't know if I want to answer.
Me too, Kestrel. Let's wait for the president.
What's up?
Let's wait for the president. Let's see what's going on
Yep.
first before we start asking too many questions to get us in
Oh,
trouble.
it was just pacing back and forth, though.
Kestrel's actually kind of like reaching inside of his bag, and he's kind of like he's kind of like squeezing onto something, like he's kind of like fidgeting a bit. That's a bad idea. That's a really bad.
So at this point, there's a ring at the doorbell. Stormbreaker Technologies.
Come on up.
And it takes about a minute for him to get up there, but in walks the president, which I believe there is an image.
There is an image.
Oh dear,
Interesting.
that's a fancy looking president.
Yeah.
So I will skip the formalities here, since you guys aren't really of this world, so you say. We aren't afraid to be our mutant selves. So I guess I will introduce myself as my mutant self. I am Seraphim.
Hi, Seraphim.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Lutra. This is Kestrel and Anton.
Hi.
Hi.
He's not really a mutant, but he's like really, really close.
He's got nanotech in him. It's great.
Yeah. So,
I mean, yes.
so a mutant's a president. That's different.
It is.
Well,
It's better than what we had.
here it's probably different from wherever you come from or whenever you come from. Mutants sort of have scared all the non-mutants into hiding in this area, which we deem Solstice. There's sanctuary cities that we have for the non-mutants where they can sort of escape from the civil war that's going on. But before I get into that, why on earth do you guys seem so familiar?
And with that, we'll call an end to the session. So, thank you all very much for watching. Again, this has been the beginning of the Worlds Collide event. We will be back next week for issue 7, which will continue the Worlds Collide event. Title to be determined. Have not come up with that just yet. But again, thank you all very much for watching. On behalf of our crew here at Bay City Comics, we've got Narastra, we've got OPT Lawyer, we've got Chameleon Ice, we've got Crimson Addicts, I am TGE. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And of course, as always, keep hailing.